Welcome to my back porch. Thank you for joining us today on a series that we're just now starting on Paula's back porch. We are here in Rockingham County, and as you can see, Massanutten Mountain is right over my shoulder here. My husband and I have raised 4 boys here, and all 4 of them have attended Rockingham County Public Schools. Our youngest one is currently a freshman. And we have been excited to work with our school system and work with the teachers and volunteer at many different engagements throughout our entire tenure at Rockingham County Public Schools. My husband even graduated from Spotswood over 40 years ago. So our commitment to this community is very strong. I chose to run for the school board because I became concerned about some of the things that I was seeing as a parent of students in Rockingham County. I realized that a lot of the information that I needed to see about my children's education and what they were being taught, I was not able to access. So I started looking into things more closely, and I was able to notice that there is just a simple fix to these issues. And I have made recommendations to the board about fixing these issues, and I feel confident that I can continue to make positive change in Rockingham County. I'm not typically a political person because I believe political parties divide versus unifying our community. But when I found out the Republican Party was endorsing a candidate, I did decide to seek that endorsement because I have voted Republican my entire life, because I believe in the values of the Republican Party. And I did go ahead and I submitted my application for the endorsement process, and I met with the team that was making the rules, or so to say, about the process and how it was going to work and how it would evolve. And I was there throughout all that process. And it started in June of 2022. Now, mind you, the election is in November of 2023. So had I not been informed that the Republican Party was going through this endorsement process so early from a friend of mine, I wouldn't have even known there was a process. But I was excited to be a part of that process, and I started attending meetings in April of 2022, I believe, and then worked with the East Rock District 5 Republicans to help tweak some of the policies that they had in place. And some of the things that I had advised them was on how do we find the best candidate? Are we rushing this process? Because we want to make sure that we have the best possible candidate for the school board. My opponent and I both went through the interview process with the East Rock District 5 Republicans, and they did select her for the endorsement. And they asked me if I would consider supporting her in her campaign. And I said I would have to prayerfully consider that, and I would also need to meet with her to make sure that our values aligned and that I could trust her leadership of our school board. I did get the opportunity to meet with my opponent, and I took a few more months to decide that this is what I need to do, because I feel like my skills and my experience are what is needed on the school board at this time. I also received a lot of information regarding where I worked and that I wouldn't stand up for what I believe in. And I think the very fact that I am going against the political party that I have voted consistently in my entire life speaks volumes to my ability to speak up and stand up for what I believe in. It took me a while to decide to officially announce my campaign because I was going to have to give up some of the things that I love dearly. And those things that I love dearly were being involved and engaged in my children's experience at Spotswood. I was on the boosters, I was on the PTSA, I worked for REFI, raising money for our students and our teachers, and I knew that once I became a school board member, I would miss out on those opportunities. And I really didn't know if I wanted to do that, and I had to really pray about that and really think about how can I do the most good for our students, for our parents, and for our teachers. And I believe running for school board is that avenue for me. Looking back, I view it as a blessing that I did not receive the endorsement, because I have come to realize that political parties are more divisive than unifying. And frankly, we need to leave that division to our math teachers. And we need to look at ways that we can bring our conservative family values onto the school board and protect and preserve what this community holds dear. We can do that and still represent all students. My experience working in higher education for the Commonwealth of Virginia has provided me a wealth of experience on how the budget process works, how to engage with community members, how to show support for valuable services that we offer here in Rockingham County. It is too much to go into it here on the back porch, but feel free to check out my resume and my opponent's resume, which are posted on the Rockingham County Public Schools Board Docs. Feel free to compare what you see there, and let me ask you, who do you want to protect and preserve our community, our values, based off of the resumes you find there?